In this video, I'll be going through Work Together Problem 3-1 on completing payroll records from our Century 21 Accounting Textbook, Advanced Edition 11. So we are with Coastline Flooring. We have a partial payroll register for the pay period ended July 3rd to be paid July 7th. We have in this one to do a commissions record, an earnings record, and our payroll register. So the first thing we need to find is the employee number we've got to fill this out for. So in number 1, Nigella K. Panuska, employee number 12, who's the carpet department manager. Bi-weekly salary of $1,200. So we heard employee number 12, and her name was Panuska, last name, comma, first name, Nigella. And I believe it told us the payroll ended July 3rd. And I'm just going to fill it in as of this year when I'm making the video. Her biweekly salary was $1,200. And she was part of the carpet department, and I believe she was the manager, or the department manager. There we go. So our instructions gives us the sales on account, cash and credit card sales. We need those for both tile and carpet, and I'm going to look at my book as I fill these out. So sales on account, $61.48.19, and cash and credit for the carpet, $24.91.96, and then for tile, $17.06.22, and $22,082.03. So we should be able to just do a quick addition function, one plus the other, and we'll just copy that function over to there. Okay, so then from our book we need sales discounts and sales returns and allowances, 104.15. And again, if you're wanting to follow along on your book, it would be page 74. And sales returns and allowances, 321.06. And for the tile, 28.11 and 418.95. We'll do a quick addition function, adding them together. Copy it, paste it, Control-C, Control-V. And our net sales, we would just subtract. Copy and paste, use the same formula. Okay, our commission rates, if we looked back at our instructions, monthly commission of 4% on carpet and 2% on tile. So it would be 4% here and 2% there. And then you just multiply that. 8,214 times the 4% would get us your commission for carpet, and times the 2% here would get us the commission for tile. And then you would just add those together to get her total commission, $411.42. Okay, so that's the end of our first part. The next thing we'll do is prepare our payroll register entries for Nigella and Andrew Weber. So we need to know that she's still the carpet department manager, married with 2 allowances. That'll be important for our federal income tax. Use the commission calculated in the previous instruction. And health insurance, $60, retirement plan contribution, $100. So we'll go over to our payroll register. And she is employee 12. Panuska Nigella. And they told us she was married with 2 allowances. So her regular earnings would have been $1,200. That's what they told us. She didn't have overtime, but she did have commission. And her commission amount, you could just go equal sign, go back to the commission record, click on the 411, enter, bring it over. And so her total would be adding those 2 together. Okay, so for now we have to split them departmentally. We know that the tile was just the portion of the commission, right? So we'll just click that. And carpet was $1,200 plus the commission for carpet. So if those 2 amounts add together, $1,611.42, to be this amount, we did it right. Okay. She should have had a 0 in administrative. So now federal income tax. We have to use those sheets in our book, for the wage bracket method tables for income tax withholding. So go to page 71 in your text to check this out, but married with 2 allowances brings you down probably about 2/3 of the way down in the bracket of 1605 to 1625, because remember she had, how much? $1,611.42. So she has $88 according to that schedule. So what else did it tell us? In the problem, state income tax, I believe there was a rate. 2% of total earnings for state income tax. So we'll go back here, equals 2% times your total earnings, $32.23. Social Security tax, our instructions told us 6.2 for Social Security, 1.45 for Medicare. So we'll come back to this tab, equals 0.062 times, which would be 6.2%, times your total earnings, and Medicare 0.0145 times your total earnings. So $99.91, and then $23.37 for Medicare. Instructions told us the health insurance, but I already forgot. Health insurance was 60, retirement plan was 100. So 60 here and 100 here. What are our total deductions? We'll just do equals sum of these deductions. And so then what is our net pay? The amount we make the check out for as this business would be our total minus our total deductions. So $1207.92. There might be some rounding just because of the multiplication. Should be pretty close. Close enough for our purposes today. Who was the other guy we had to do this for? Andrew T. Weber, employee number 8. Tile department clerk, single with 1 allowance. We'll start there. So Weber, Andrew T, single with 1 allowance. So his regular earnings, it looks like $16 per hour, overtime's time and a half of regular rate. He worked 80 regular time and 6 overtime. Okay. So regular would be 80 times 16. Overtime would be equals, let's make that 16 times time and a half. So times 1.5. And then times, and I already forgot how many hours, 6 hours of overtime. So 16, yep. 1280 of regular, 144 of overtime, no commission, so we'll just add those two amounts together. 1424 of pay. And the department is going to be, I believe, 100% tile, because he is the tile department clerk. All right, should be 0 on administrative. And so now it's time to calculate our federal income tax. Single with 1 allowance. If we look back, 1424, about halfway down the page in the 1420 to 1440, single with 1 allowance would be $128. And this is on page 70 of your textbook. State income tax, I bet we used 2% times H12, which should still work for us, so we'll just drag that down. And 6.2% times H12, we'll drag that formula down as well. Medicare tax should work the same way. So those amounts ended up being $28.48, $88.29, and $20.65. Our problem told us that medical insurance was $50 and retirement contribution was $60. So our total deductions, we'll just use that same sum formula, and we'll use the same formula here to get net pay. $1,048.58. The last thing we need to do is calculate our totals here. So we'll just do an equals sum function, and it guessed it. We want to just add those together, and then we'll just drag it across and add up the columns all the way over. And I'm going to do bold and some top and bottom borders that set them apart. Okay, back to our instructions. Part 3, complete payroll register by, I think we already did total each amount column. And then part 4, prepare Andrew's earnings record for the first pay period. Accumulated earnings were $18,240. Okay, our accumulated earnings, $18,240, before I forget that amount. So this is for Andrew. Earnings record for employee number 8. We'll go last name first. Weber Andrew T. Marital status single. Withholding 1. His hourly wage was $16. Salary wasn't applicable. Department was tile. And he is a clerk. Okay, so for this period, ended the 3rd of July, his total earnings from our previous tab. Payroll register, his total earnings would be here, $14.24. And then federal income tax, we can come right back to our payroll register. Federal, state, Social Security, Medicare, all of those drag straight across. Health insurance, retirement plan, and then we'll just add them up, although we probably could have done that from before as well. Net pay, total earnings minus the total deductions, and the last thing, total accumulated earnings. So previous accumulated earnings, and then you add the total earnings, not the net pay, the total earnings. So 19,664, and that is it for Work Together 3-1.